drawing a triangle polygon is faster than drawing a quadropolygon. This is why triangles are preferred in real-time rendering, and also for rendering complicated scene in cinematic production. During the designing and optimization stage, it is preferred to keep your mesh in quadropolygons. That will ease the designing and the editing process. However, behind the scene, and technically speaking, 3ds Max is considering the quadropolygons as triangles, as you can see. We are now in a very advanced stage of this series. We have completed the designing and editing process for the current objects, and we need to move forward to the next step. Before detaching the vehicle parts, we will convert all quadropolygons into triangles, and it is necessary to make sure that all edges are placed into the right directions. We are going to apply Turn to Poly modifier in order to convert all objects into triangles, then visual inspect our mesh before committing to the modifier, and correct any edges placed into the wrong direction. Most of the time, the modifier will place those edges into the right direction. However, in few places, it may not. Those places we need to manually correct before moving our project forward to the next stage. Although you can apply the Turn to Poly modifier on top of the symmetry, as well as below it, and that might not make any difference in some cases. It is important to keep the symmetry modifier on top of all other modifiers. Good day everyone, and welcome to this tutorial. In this chapter, we are going to detach the vehicle parts based on the animated or the movable parts. I have done the optimization process for the first level of detail by welding some loops and removing the unnecessary. We have uncovered all those process in our previous tutorials. You can collapse all the modifiers except for the symmetry, then apply Turn to Poly modifier to the current mesh below the symmetry modifier. Limit the polygon size to 3. This will turn all polygons into triangles. In the Edit Poly level, you can manually correct all the wrong placed edges before collapsing the stack. Collapse the stack after inspecting the topology. We still can correct any wrong edges afterwards. However, we need to do the editing on both sides of the mesh, since we do not have symmetry anymore. You need to weld both sides of each element before detaching the vehicle parts. select all elements of the vehicle part, then detach each part with a proper name. I will add these polygons to the body shell later. In reality, there should be a mounting panel for both the front and the rear windshield. We are going to mimic that while detaching these parts. We need to flip the polygons for the interior glass and leave 2 mm distance between the exterior and the interior glass. Move the interior glass and the windshield panel on the Z-axis with -2 mm. Let me remind you, I am using meters as a system unit and generic to show the numbers only, without the unit indicator. We are going to redirect these edges later. I am going to detach the door parts in respective to each material that will be used later. Here is the short scenario for the current front doors. We need 4 materials, one for the door body, one for the plastic part, one for the chrome part, and finally, one for the mirrors. We will explain that in details in the texturing tutorial. Some studios like to embed the fuel door into the vehicle body shell. However, we are not going to do that, since it really does not matter that much. If you wonder how we are going to build the doors shuts, I will do that later, in the second level of detail layer. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a tutorial about that. Again, we need to flip the interior glass polygons, and leave 2 mm distance between the exterior and the interior glass. We will detach the door's glass, in regarding to each door, with proper names, later. I will repeat all the processes shown in this tutorial to the other layers, except for the last level of detail layer. I will continue working on the other layers off camera. Finally, I hope the idea of this tutorial has been delivered successfully.